As a mom who has 4 adult children past their teenage years, I really think a lot about teenagers because it's such a tough time in your life. And I wanted to get a group of them together to talk to me about the world they live in. A lot of what they have to say is shocking, but a lot of it is very moving too, and they deserve to be listened to. Okay, who knows where I can buy a gun? So you all know where I can get a gun?
Yeah.
Like if I want one of those AK-47 ones that like just could plow down a hole?
No.
Yeah,
Pawn shop.
You know where to get them?
Well, I never seen one actually, but pawn shop.
Cool.
Downtown LA.
Wow. What kind of a scary world is that?
Yeah,
Pretty dang scary.
Any pawn shop will sell you one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Wow. What kind of a world do you guys live in?
Crucial.
Corrupt.
Very.
Sometimes it's good.
It's not that bad.
Not that bad all the time.
Not that bad.
It's not
I think it
horrible.
used to be worse like years back. It's getting better.
Yeah, for
Think
me.
it's getting better?
I see it.
I think aspects of it are getting better, but then there are other aspects that are changing and getting worse.
Yeah, let's talk about violence. What about that?
This is bad.
Bad.
Too much.
Very
Like-
bad.
The school things
Yeah.
where the kids are going in
Like-
with guns.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, you know, that's just like one symptom, I think, of
But I think that's
violence everywhere.
that's more of like a trend. It's not just like violence. Like somebody did it once because they went over the edge, and then somebody saw it like, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna go do it. And then like
Copycat. Yeah,
people
peer
like, just
pressure.
like
It's
following
like
it just
a lot
because
of
they want they want the fame, they want the publicity.
What do you think the reason is that somebody would do something like that? Just violence in general. What makes somebody really violent?
Things I get mad over is like a bunch of peer pressure and, you know, accusing, like, you know, someone tells you what you're doing and they assume a lot and you're really not doing it. You know, that's another reason you can get highly upset.
Yeah, actually.
What, for like being falsely accused? kind
Yeah,
of
like
thing?
if you didn't do something to somebody, you know, on and off.
And I have a story behind that. Like, I was going to Taco Bell, and I had a Bugs Bunny sweater on and, like, really tight pants. And I was running because it was 9:30 and I had to get my lunch because I was going on a field trip the next day. So I was running there, and this cop pulls me over, and he asked me why I was running, and he made me get on the pavement. And then I had to get in the back of the car. And, like, in the back of the cop car, it really stank back there. And he's all rolling me around, and he's talking about where my friends at, who jacked the cars, what car did I try to jack. And I was just going to Taco Bell, and I tried to tell him I'm just trying to get my lunch for tomorrow. And he didn't even listen to me. Just the whole time, he's just harassing me. And they finally caught the 2 guys who were doing it, and I didn't even get an apology. He just let me out, and that was it. And I really hate that. Like, and if I go into, like, a department store or whatever, I'll have, like, 3 people following me, just because, like, the stereotype, you know? I'm gonna jack something, or I really wanna jack something. But they don't know that maybe I'm going there to buy something. Why do I have to jack it, you know? I hate things like that.
Does that make you like feel kind of
It pisses
hopeless and
no.
scared about the world you live in?
No, it pisses me off because it's why because I'm black do I have to even go? Why do you have to go there on me? You know, he didn't even ask me if I did it. He just said get on the pavement, get in the back of the car, just arrest me right on the spot. Didn't ask me a question at all.
Just the assumption of guilt by virtue of the fact that your skin is black. That's a scary world to think about being a kid in.
That's somewhat, you know, like how it is because, you know, from my point of view, you know, I was raised, you know, South Central, gang-related, being incarcerated from the age of 12 all the way to 16. And for
What'd you
nothing,
do?
just a lot of things like not go to school, warrants, violations, just minor things. But then it was things that I didn't do that, you know, some police officers that knew me and that knew my gang partners, you know, they just wanted to lock me up for, you know, for the time being, or, oh, you did this, so you going to jail for it. And then I go to the station, they already have probation officers there, so the probation officer will tell me that, you know, I'm gonna get violated just for, you know, walking from school with my, you know, associate, partner or whatever.
Now, you just turned your life around, though, haven't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
Let's
you know,
talk about that a little bit.
yeah, it's
It's
better,
kind of like,
you know, that I
it seems
changed.
like everything would be set up for you to go wrong continually.
Yeah,
So what kind of decision did you make not to continue that way?
I had to promise myself that, you know, I'm gonna challenge myself, right? Because I just had a little boy, he 4 months, you know,
Cool.
thank the Lord. But, you know, I promised myself that I'm a challenge to do better, to graduate from school, to get a job, to support my family, you know, everyone that I love, you know, will get a piece if I just have peace and stay from facilities, stay away from the police, and just do right.
Stay
And I
away
feel,
from gangs.
Yeah, stay away from gangs. And I feel should nothing be
is
able
that
to hold.
possible? Is it hard?
Yeah, no, it's not hard at all. You can do anything you want to do if you know what I'm saying. You really want to change and you put your mind to it and you really want to change your life, you can do it.
Well, we're going to continue talking to these kids right after this. If everybody in the world, because my daughter used to be a goth and everything.
She told me that.
And when I was a teenager, I was a hippie, and nobody was a hippie, and I had to wear like a dress I made out of a sheet and a flower and the whole thing, and no shoes, and go around with a guitar and sing Bob Dylan songs. It's just so everyone would stare at me and hate me. But now, if everybody was dressing up like you, what would you do? Dress like a nun, or? Because you wouldn't want, if everybody looked like you wouldn't want to look like you look, right?
Well, there's no more originality anymore. Everyone's, there's like, everything's been done, but you try to change something different.
Come on, you you'd look like, you would try to dress like a surf chick or something. If everybody was just,
Like a what?
A surfer.
Blonde and like.
I feel that whichever way you dress, people should just respect you for the human being that you are.
But let's be really real. People get killed for how they dress.
Yeah, that's gang-related activity.
But that's real in this city.
Yeah, in the city. Because it's,
right?
It's people that, like to dress with gang-related colors. I can't see, how the kids' future is going to be if, teens are out living, like, killing each other over colors and crucial things like that. It just makes me wonder, how is, my son going to grow up?
Having a son is really...
Yeah, it's a big responsibility.
It changes the way you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it changes your whole life
I think it's
around.
up to our generation to really decide whether we're going to sink or swim. I think it's crucial to our generation, and I think it's pretty much on us.
Do you believe in God?
Do I believe in God? I believe in a God. I don't...
What's the difference between that and God?
Oh, well then, I don't know. You can call him God. I don't know. In some sort of higher power,
If you're Catholic and you say God, it's different than if I say God, because you're talking about, because he doesn't have a name. In many religions, they just call him God or our Lord or whatever. But if you say that to me and I have like a different God, then a God would be the term. I'm more deist. Like, I believe that there's a creator out there, but it's not like religious. Everything is more scientific than anything else.
Do you believe in God?
Actually, no, I don't. I believe more in myself. Like, I don't believe there's someone, out there that, I believe that it's us, that we do what we want and we make our own, like, little path in life, And it's,
you believe that we have the power to change things?
I think we do. I mean, it should start out small, like in families or stuff, But, I mean, yeah, we could. I mean, if we believe in ourselves. And that's why, I don't know, religion for me is like, why do you try to blame it on, God did this to me, it was God's will, I think you should just, like, do it yourself and, like,
I think when we want to answer the question,
do what you want and, like, do it.
Yeah, if we want to answer the question on how we got here and we want to use God, is that because we use him for a scapegoat because stuff we can't explain, we're all craving an answer for something, for everything.
Right, that's true.
And so we'll make up God, make up Satan. I think if we want to, it's a good idea. It's a good story to say that God created us all. But I also believe that now God can't help us. It's up to us. This is our lives, Yeah. I think it's up to us, the choices we make. We can't blame it on, I was tempted by the devil or I see the light or anything else. I think it's up to us.
Let's say, for instance, if you pray right and you don't worry about what you prayed about and you have faith, the Lord will work a miracle for you, because it happened for me a couple of times. I would promise the Lord that I would do something, then I would turn around and do it, then I'll have to regret it, and I think back like, well, this why this happened, because I told the Lord, then I promised the Lord, and then he'll, create a miracle for me, and then I just, wouldn't do the things that I did before. And that's how I know.
That is, a miracle is changing the normal course of, the normal course of events.
Yeah, when you see the miracle,
then you
really
is a miracle.
know.
That's cool that you've had miracles.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I thought it was great, because at first I was like saying the same thing, like, man, it's supposed to be a God, I don't believe in God. Then I prayed, and a miracle happened for me, and it was cool. I had to change my life.
I'm glad you did.
That's one of the promises
you have a lot of pressure on you too.
Yeah, somewhat.
I heard that you're the breadwinner for your whole vast family, the only male.
Somewhat.
That's just amazing. That's
because
intense.
it's like, I'm
life you
the
got?
second youngest, you know, the second oldest, rather. My sister is older than me, but I have 2 younger sisters. My father ain't there, so I'm the one, you know, that has to support the family. And
Yeah.
plus, I have a son 4 months.
Now you're a dad, and you didn't have a dad.
Nope.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff to learn.
So,
a lot of stuff. Good
it's
luck with
crucial,
all
but
that.
it's a big responsibility that I promised the Lord.
Do you have people that can help you?
Not really. I mean, I like to be a loner, you know, sometimes, but if someone comes along and try to help me and I know that they're telling me something right and I can, you know, look back on it as something good, then I take the responsibility.
That's cool. What about you? You haven't said anything.
I think it starts from the families. It starts from like the parents, the examples that kids have, you know? I mean, like kids like shooting people in school. I think if they had better parents and if their parents were a better example upon them, that they wouldn't have done those kind of things that they did.
But you can't leave it up to the parents. Everyone is their own individual. You can't blame the parents. Well, they weren't raised right. Because everyone, I think, is born with their own, you know, with their own self. They spend their life trying to figure themselves out, or what exactly. And yes, I think some of it comes from the way you're raised. But if something bad happens, you can't blame it on the parents. You know, when it gets down to it, it's what you chose. He chose to go. And
I don't know if you can make
mean,
that
like,
big of a
watch your
decision when you're
You're
that
upset,
young.
but
I know, but you
feel
can. But I don't think you can also like blame it on the parents and say, well, it's because
I think there should be
they
a
didn't
cutoff
give
point.
some-
There should be
Yeah.
like okay, say 18. That's what's legal. Thing. After that, it's all your fault. Let me ask you, what do you think we can do about it? What can we do to make the world better?
I think you have to focus on yourself. You can't like change the world because it's not up to you. I mean, no matter how much you're gonna try, and I'm not trying to be pessimistic right now, but you have to focus on yourself and to make yourself a better person before trying to fix everybody else, because you can't do that.
And
I think that's the only thing we can do.
Yeah, you can't change
Stay
other
to
people. You have to
yourself.
be enough. You have to be-
But if you like had this one wish or like a positive hope for the future, what would it be? Let's just talk about the world you live in, not the world in general, but just the neighborhood and family and place you live in.
I guess happiness. I mean, I know that's really, really corny, but if you think it ties into everything. Like, if it ties into peace, it ties into everybody getting along, it ties into, if everybody's happy, then that's just like the best thing that there can be. But it's like not like
That's a
fake
hard
happiness,
thing.
like
That's
good
a hard thing.
happiness, like to know that you're happy and to be okay with the fact that you're happy.
Yeah.
I would have to wish that no one should have to suffer, you know, and everything was just peaceful. That's what I would.
What about you? You haven't said anything.
What I wish for?
Yeah.
Just for everyone to get along.
Thank you all very much. You're all very intelligent, and
Thank you.
you've done a lot of thinking and
You know, I know.
made a lot of good decisions, and I wish you all the best.